My next guest here on Punky's Mixtape, the very first time anyone joining me here in the studio, is a very good buddy of mine. This is Cliff. Cliff, why don't you tell the mixtape a little bit about yourself?
My name is Cliff Gelina. Play a lot of bluegrass country, southern rock kind of music. Been playing since I was like 8 years old, traveling with a family band, and here I am in my 30s, still playing and having fun, doing my thing.
So you brought up something very interesting there, that you grew up in a family band. Now, that's not something that everybody can say. It's something that's, a little bit more traditional, especially in country and bluegrass scenes and folk. Those types of traditions are passed on, and obviously that was what was happening with your family. Tell me a bit about that.
Yeah. Both my parents were musicians and are musicians, and we grew up in that whole environment, and me and my sister both kind of slowly picked up instruments and at a young age and kept on playing and singing. It was just always part of growing up in that environment. It was like learning how to walk and talk. And next thing you know, we're traveling around in a 1960s GMC tour bus and playing music and traveling the country. And yeah.
Now, what does everybody in the family play? Like, what did Dad play?
My father can play pretty much anything with strings. Guitar is his main instrument, but he plays mandolin, a little bit of banjo, dobro. He shreds on electric too. But he plays anything with strings, and my mother plays upright bass, and my sister, she plays upright bass, and she also plays guitar and mandolin as well, and just all around. We like to switch it up,
And you yourself also just very diverse with all the instruments that you can play. I've known that from the years that we've known each other.
Yeah. I try to dip my hands into a little bit of everything. So
now, like you said, with that family band, you've traveled all over the place. Where has that brought you?
All kinds of different places. A lot of the times we spent a lot of time in Tennessee, out through Pigeon Forge, through Nashville. We'd stop in Kentucky. And play a few different places. I mean, we've gone all over New England.
Any places notable there in the South that you played?
Oh yeah, we played the whole strip. We'd go through there and just kind of keep on playing, and different bars, different venues.
Any famous venues down there?
We played at the Country Tonight Theater. Well, in Pigeon Forge, we did the Country Tonight Theaters. We did the Louise Mandrell Theater. We've played all over. I mean, so many different strips, so many different places. It's pretty cool. We branched off after doing the family stuff, and me and my sister started a band. I had started a different band, and then she had joined later on. It's called Breaking Strings, and we traveled with that band for quite a bit, doing a lot of different festivals, and that was a lot of fun.
And what kind of artists did you play with over the years?
Oh man, all kinds of different people. We've opened up for we've shared the stage with a lot of different people. I mean, we did one festival, Del Fest. It was the first one. It's down in Cumberland, Maryland. Del McCurry band puts it on and whatnot. And we played there the first year. And Vince Gill played there. Dirk Spenley played there. It was unreal. They had a lot of different. The Punch Brothers played there from the bluegrass scene, and they had just so many great artists. Jerry Douglas was playing there. Massive dobro player. Just a ton of great music, great artists. Ronnie Bowman, fantastic songwriter. It was a good time. A lot of good memories traveling and playing.
It's like I said, it's not something that a lot of people can relate to. It's a little bit more old school, and it's nice to see some of those ideals kind of still get held on to. Now, you still play for family here and there?
Every now and then, yeah, we still do some stuff together. I mean, my father, he has another band he plays with, and I have a couple other projects that I've been playing with, and my sister, we all try to get together and play when we can. It's it kind of, as time goes on, things kind of branch off in different projects.
You've been
start up
doing a lot of solo stuff as of the recent.
Yeah, been doing a lot of writing and a lot of solo stuff, and it's been good. I had a record deal back in 2014 with TMG Records, Tape Music Group, and released that album through them. And right now I'm currently, not signed on to anything at the moment and able to do what I want to do creatively.
Is that album available online?
Yeah, it's still available online, I do believe. And if not, they can.
Where can it be found?
I believe it's still found on Amazon as well as.
And what's the full name of the album that it's listed under?
Sounds Like Country to Me.
Sounds Like Country to Me.
Yeah.
If you want to check out some of Cliff's music, and also you got stuff on YouTube, don't you?
Yeah, I got some stuff on YouTube. If you look up Outlaw Fix, there's a few other songs on there. That's actually the video that got me the record deal. And we'll be posting a lot more other stuff as the time comes. We're trying to take a whole new look at the direction we want to go in.
We'll be showing some of those videos later on for everybody to check out here on the show. For those that are into country bluegrass and that outlaw folk sort of style things. So you've been doing some things recently. Bit of a songwriter. I know you've written songs for people. You were a lyricist and a songwriter for hire.
Yeah, I did that for quite a while, which was nice, and I still do. It's just it's cool to try to take somebody else's story and put it to music, and really try to structure what they want to say in song. Yeah,
it's one of the my favorite things. Obviously, is music, and why we do things here at the mixtape is the story. At the end of the day, what are you looking back? What are some of your favorite moments that really stood out to you along the way on your musical journey?
Oh man, so many memories. A lot of it isn't just so much performance wise as it is just the memories of living and traveling on the road and like the kind of situations that you get yourself into. My word, there was this one time we were coming back from Nashville, and I believe we're towards Knoxville area, and there was this 4-corner intersection where we were at, and this time we didn't have a bus. We had the 15-passenger van, and my father, he was driving, and all of a sudden he realized something wasn't right, and he was overheating, and there was some hose on the catalytic converter that had burnt up, and he's needed to try to find this something to replace this so we could at least keep on getting to go where we had to go. So he took a piece of water hose that he had cut and then wrapped it around with cut pieces of tin can, all right, to like keep the temperature right, so it wouldn't like burn up instantly, just so we can get to where we had to go. And he clamped it and had it all set, and it worked. And we got to this intersection, and it had burnt up again. And here we are. It's like it was like a scene out of a movie. There's like the one gas station with like the one guy sitting on the corner, and we're just like, what the hell are we gonna do? And we're looking around, and my drummer at the time, the drummer of the band, he's looking up at the sky, and he's like, talks to my dad. He goes, Brian, he goes, those clouds ain't looking good. And sure as shit, there was some tornadoes that were coming down. And this was actually like a real bad tornado hit that actually ended up hitting Nashville, and it was right after we ended up leaving. And but you could just see the sky turning, and my father's just like, I gotta find something. It's a 4-way intersection, and on one of them it was a railroad track. So he just like kept on walking down the railroad track, trying to see if there's any kind of junk or anything you could find to do what we had to do to make something to get us to where we had to go. And sure as shit, he found on the side of the road a catalytic converter that was just sitting on the side, and he reached down, and the piece that he needed like came off in his hand. Like it was boom. Like normally something that you'd have to fight with and everything else came off. He comes running back. He goes, you won't believe what I found. And he puts it on there, and we head out. And as soon as we ended up hitting that road, that's when all those tornadoes ended up coming down. And we had people that were like driving from the same kind of trip that we had gone on, except for they were a little bit further back, and they were saying the tornadoes were coming across through the field. Like it was just through the memories of like traveling and making it through weird situations like that. That right there is like the stuff that sticks. The
things that you can never plan for, that are just completely in the moment. Those absolute random occurrences. And you're right. And every band that I talk to on the show, they all have that same feeling. It's like it's all the shit, the random adventures, the misadventures that happen on the road that you can't plan for. But that's the allure of it, of that nomadic lifestyle, especially being a traveling musician.
Yeah.
Whatever. So, crazy things always happen on the road. What about some of the interesting people? I'm sure in the bluegrass country outlaw scene, there's definitely got to been some interesting folks. What are some of the ones that stood out along the way?
You know, one of them that has made, and this is horrible. This is a little horrible story, but just the way this kid represented himself stuck and stayed with me forever, and it always will. We played, and we were still in Knoxville, and we were doing this show at some kind of barn. I can't remember the name of it, but it was some kind of big kind of theater inside. You know, it was all decked out and just straight up bluegrass show kind of place. But it had this nice big wraparound deck and everything, and they put on all kinds of different bands would come and play each show, and they sold a bunch of food, and it was just a really cool venue. It was really neat, really nice, and all done up. And the family we were playing there, and I'm backstage out through the background porch, and I'm like tuning my guitar and kind of getting things ready. And this little boy comes up to me, probably about like 4 or 5 years old, like just small little dude, and he's just wearing overalls, shaved little head, just kind of like, you know, he scared the shit out of me at first. But he comes around, he starts looking.
Step out of a cornfield.
Oh yeah, no, it felt just like that, you know. And he's sitting there, and he had the strongest Southern accent I could even. I'm gonna, you know, just trying to replicate it ain't gonna do it justice. But he's standing there. You gonna play that guitar? And he just kind of, and we're talking about 5-year-old kid. I start laughing. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna play some music in a little bit. He said, what's your name? He said, well, my name's Puppy. And like, he had this voice that just, it sounded like a 90-year-old man coming out of this 5-year-old boy. My name's Puppy. And I said, Puppy.
Morgan Freeman, 5-year-old white boy.
Yeah, no shit. He goes, my name's Puppy, and the reason my name's Puppy is because a long time ago, when I was really itty bitty, like the kid's 5, the whole time I'm just in like awe that he's even talking to me. What the hell is happening? But when I was really young and itty bitty, I kicked a puppy, and it didn't come back. It just laid down. And he goes, and everybody just calls me Puppy after that. And I'm like, what? Like, where am I? You know, what's happening right now? But to this day, I mean, here it is, friggin', you know, almost 20 years later, and my sister will still come up. She goes, "Where's Puppy?" My name's Puppy. You just like the people, yeah. That's just you just never know what's gonna.
It's the type of thing that's like, it's not real. It's not real.
Out of a movie.
It
feels like,
you know,
where's the camera?
Where it's like something like, all right, there's a camera here, there's a camera like where, and you can't plan for those types of things.
Oh my God.
You know, those are the types of moments on the road that I absolutely love, because that's where everybody's safe, and there's, you know, you don't have to worry about the vehicle or tornadoes in the middle of fucking nowhere. You know, those are stories, like you said, it'll always sit with you. There's always, you know, it's the ones that are not so good road stories that are, you don't want to relive those moments. And I don't,
plenty of those too.
I don't miss the bad ones.
No,
I don't miss the bad ones at all.
No, there's been some bad ones, man. There really have been. You never know what you're gonna go through.
No, whether it be vehicle accidents or worse. You know?
Yeah, there was a bad one time. I won't get into too much detail, but yeah, we were heading to Vermont. We were just played in New York, and we were heading to Vermont for a bluegrass festival out there. Well, we were playing at the Jenny Brook Bluegrass Festival, my band Breaking Strings, and we were like crashed at a parking lot for a bit. We woke up pretty early, and I was trying to like get everybody going. I was like, let's hit back the road, you know, try to get there as soon as we can. And as soon as we got to the intersection, my father's, you know, he was driving at the time. He looks to his left, he looks to his right. By the time he looked back to his left, we hit this just huge crash, and all you see is smoke and just part the stuff flying in the air. And we're like, what? Then once the dust settled, you see it. And there was a car that went off the road and into a corner of a brick building, or right in the doorway of a brick building. And it caught that, and it spun that car around. And the poor girl got thrown out the window. And
yeah.
But it was me and my dad were the first ones on the scene, you know, trying to be like right there to do whatever we could do. And then more people showed up. But it's just like, yeah, you never know what you're going to see on the road doing that kind of stuff. And that goes for anybody traveling the road.
Whoever that was, I hope they made it out of that. You know, it's the thing is sometimes you see things like that. I know plenty of bands that have been in in that actual situation themselves, and there's nothing more, mortifying than actually having to live through it.
Yeah.
And that's honestly, that's the ebb and flow of being, especially an independent musician. You don't have, I guess, even with a major label, you don't have an umbrella of safety, but still, I mean, you're doing this all on your own. You're investing your money, you're buying the trailer, your gear, it's all on you. And you're out there, and then you're fully exposed. Anything can happen to you on the road. And
all you can do is hope for a good experience,
exactly. And it's the ups and downs. And that's, that's what makes it exciting, is that anything can happen. It doesn't matter what genre of music that you play, regardless. Anything can happen when you're on the road, and especially when you're playing the types of shows with forward thinkers and a little bit more progressiveness and people that like to get a little loose from time to time. I've seen some things.
Oh yeah, man.
But we
all have, sure.
So we, speaking of doing obviously all the music, but played with a lot of different people and stuff over the years. Is there, and I like to ask everybody this, is there anybody that's in the game right now that you just would love to have the opportunity to do something with? Any vocalist, musician, doesn't matter what genre. Like the secret, as I say, your collaboration. Wow, I totally brain farted on my own line. your aspirations for collaboration. There we go. Wow.
Yeah, no, there's definitely. I've always had a list of musicians I'd love to try to collaborate with. I mean, it's dreaming big kind of stuff, But
dream big. Let's hear it.
One of them would be. Well, here's the thing: is actually probably about 12, 13 years ago now. I actually got to sing with Chris Stapleton once. And that was backstage at a festival we were both playing at. He was playing with the Steel Drivers, and we were playing with Breaking Strings. And, I got to sing with him just briefly in the back stage and doing that. And I'll tell you right now, man, having a moment to sing with him again on something original or something different would be awesome. It would be a dream come true right there. And then there's other people like Dan Tyminski. I'd love to do some kind of a collaboration with him. He's an incredible vocalist, and he used to play in a band with my mother years ago, and now he does his own thing, just Tyminski. Before that, he played with Alison Krauss and Union Station. Did the Oh Brother Art Thou, Man of Constant Sorrow. He did all that, and he's done all kinds of stuff. And I don't know if you remember, but he also did that song "Hey Brother."
Yep.
He covered that, and that was when he really crossed over, and tried to do something different.
Your mom had done some work.
Yeah, they were in a band together years ago. It was a band called Green Mountain Bluegrass.
Green Mountain Bluegrass.
Him and his brother Stan Tyminski. Yeah.
So I'm sure, but not familiar what we're talking about. We're talking about the Coen brothers. Oh brother, where art thou? And if you're not familiar, do yourself a favor, watch the movie. It's fucking phenomenal. The artist that did the soundtrack.
Dan Tyminski. He was one of them. One of the artists. Yeah.
He was, as we know, from the Soggy Bottom Boys.
Right.
Well, that individual happened to be in a band with Cliff's mom a little bit before that. A little bit of some trivia for y'all.
Yeah, so I mean, he's been a big inspiration in my music. I've listened to all kinds of his recordings from years ago before he was really well known to all the stuff he's doing now. He's just a great dude. And anytime he's playing up in the area, we always get to see him and get to shoot the shit and hang out and stuff. And it's always cool to see that. But to collaborate with him would be really cool.
He's got range. I wish I could. I am a man. I butchered it.
Yeah, he always joked about how he was. My wife. He goes, my wife. It's like her biggest fantasy to look at me and hear George Clooney, or to look at George Clooney and to hear my voice. That was every time he'd say that, I just like, yeah, I get it.
That's great.
It's funny shit.
Is there anybody like outside of the genre? Somebody that you really like that you're like, oh man, you know what? I'd love to just pick their brain, do something just off the wall with them.
That's a great question. Off genre?
Yeah.
Oh man, there's a ton of stuff. I mean, so many different artists. Really is.
Who would you like to pull out of their element and like do like a bluegrass song? You know, like, man, take this vocalist or, you know, this musician that's totally renowned for doing this, and let's just see what they would do with this.
Man,
I mean, there's just so many options. It's endless.
it really is. It really is. I mean, off the top of my head, man. You know what'd be cool is I'm just throwing this out there, but it'd be cool to hear like Steven Tyler do something with an acoustic, fast-paced band, but in his own way. You know, I think that would be pretty cool.
And that blues album, but not something a little bit more on the bluegrass side.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, he's still got a great different voice, but it'd just be something, I don't know, be neat, like a Crossroads type thing to try to hear him do something with a full acoustic, you know, accompaniment, rather, you know, with an Americana grassy kind of feel. I think that'd be neat. I don't know. Because he could be a powerhouse of a sort, you know.
You said Crossroads. Get Steve Vai in on there.
No kidding.
Oh my god. So, in a few moments here, you're actually gonna play us some music for us.
Yeah.
So we're gonna check out some of the things like Cliff's done. We're gonna check out some videos here in between as we get Cliff set up. You guys are currently watching Punky's mixtape. Hold tight, and we'll be back with Cliff.